Here's what happened this week on Monday Night Raw. We are live from Boston, Massachusetts, and yes, this is the go-home show for this Saturday's Money in the Bank PLE. Let's get into it. This triple threat qualifying match is scheduled for tonight to determine the last member of men's Money in the Bank match. First up, in the backstage area, the crowd is gathered. Jey Uso is here, and he makes his entrance through the crowd. He gets to the crowd sitting in the arena with his music playing in the background. Everyone is yeeting. Michael Cole is also yeeting. He looked like a snake got in his pants, and he was trying to get him out by jumping. He looked like a monkey who had not learned to jump properly. But still, Michael Cole, you a legend. Jey Uso gets to the ring, and the promo begins. He starts by saying welcome to Monday Night Yeet. He says at Money in the Yeet, no one else is going to yeet, because it is in fact Jey Uso who will be yeeting, and he will become your Mr. Yeet in the Bank. Music hits, and it is Chad Gable. Chad Gable says he does not want to hear that word anymore, and he does not even want to say it himself. He is talking about the stupid word that is yeet. He then starts addressing Jey, and he says that you are not going to become Mr. Yeet in the Bank because Gable is going to become Master in the Bank. Chad gets inside the ring, and Jey Uso says to him, "Hey, aren't you supposed to be dead, you know, because of the attack of the Wyatt Six?" Chad says that he is the wrong target for the Wyatt Six because I guess he is being targeted for the fact that he hurt his family, and he says that he did not abandon his family abandoned him. But he cannot say the same for Jey Uso, who left his family high and dry. Jey replies, and he says that he did not leave his family. He just did what the Alpha Academy has done and got out from under a manipulative bastard. But before he can finish, Gable attacks Jey. Jey gets the upper hand and he starts throwing hands. He does the stupid dance, hits Gable with a final punch, and then he super kicks him. He goes up top to finish him with a splash, but Gable rolls out of the ring. Gable is still standing there acting poorly when the lights go out. The Wyatt Six are here. Gable looks to the ring, and it is being filled with smoke. He knows what happened last week when that undead woman slithered into the ring, so Gable is not going to go in there. He goes to the crowd, hoping to walk through the crowd and avoid the Wyatt Six. This dude with the sack on his head is here. Gable is scared but walks past him. This dude with the bunny head is also here. Gable is now more afraid, and he walks past him. But this dude is also here. Gable sees him, goes to the crowd, and the camera cuts to the announcer's table. Just like last week, this character has another box for Michael Cole. She delivers it to him, and the security is laid out presumably by the Wyatt Six. End of segment. Next up, we have the New Day, and they face the final testicle. Xavier vs. Karrion gets underway. Xavier is receiving the beatdown of a lifetime, but he manages to roll up Karrion and pin him to win the match. Kofi and Xavier are celebrating like a couple of idiots. They are clearly outnumbered. The final testicle is clearly pissed, so they should have gotten out of there immediately and celebrated somewhere else. Anyways, the Authors of Pain get into the ring and start attacking the New Day. Pitbull is directing traffic while standing on the apron. He picks up Kofi to change his diaper. He picks up Xavier to do the same. Karrion locks in this maneuver on Kofi. Kofi is writhing in pain and sexy Scarlett is enjoying the show. Kofi gives us a meme-worthy shot, and Scarlett looks absolutely perfect. Kofi is laid out, and the final testicle is standing tall along with Pitbull. Man, I just love the addition of musical stars in WWE. First, it was Bad Bunny, and now, it is Pitbull. You love to see it. The segment ends with this shot right here. Damian and Dom are heading to the Judgment Day clubhouse together. Damian asks Dom if the live problem is solved. Dom says he is fine, the problem is fine, everything is fine. Damian says, you know who is not fine? Rhea Ripley, because he just talked to her and she is pissed. Dom says he is going to take care of this live problem once and for all. STFU Dom, you know, and we know that you want that V. Badly. They head inside the clubhouse and Liv is already in there. You know, just casually hanging with the boys, wearing their colors and playing games. Her top is dope, though. It says that Liv is finally on top. It is obviously in response to Rhea's popular shirt that says mommy is always on top. Damian is looking at Dom like a bisexual Undertaker would look at his client disappointingly. Before Liv leaves though, she calls Dom daddy and wishes him good luck for his match against his father. She leaves. Finn now comes to talk to Damian and he has got a bone to pick with him. He asks Damian what was this bullcrap last week, that Damian does not need the Judgment Day anymore but the Judgment Day needs Damian Priest. Damian says of course he needs his friends and he did not mean it like that, he was just trying to make a point. He says that he knows he can beat Seth Rollins on his own, so he said what he said and agreed to Seth's demands last week. Finn listens to him but ends up saying that nah man, ever since you have won that title, You have changed. The bisexual Undertaker has no answer for that. End of segment. Kelly asks Vega how she is going to lose tonight in her championship match against Liv Morgan. Vega says that she stayed up all night to think of a new way to lose yet another match, and she will do so soon and add another loss to her illustrious yet miserable career. She makes her entrance. The champ makes her entrance. She looks so fine though. Just look at Liv Morgan and now just imagine Dom. Sorry. The match gets underway. During the match Dom shows up. Morgan thinks he is here to help her, but Dom's reactions and actions show that he is here to help Vega. Rey Mysterio is also here now. The match continues. Liv Morgan puts on a show for Dom by hitting three amigos and doing the dance. She uses Rhea Ripley's finishing move in front of Dom, I guess to show him that she can do anything that Rhea can but better. Ringside, Dom and Rey get into an argument. Rey pushes Dom down to the mat. Morgan hits a baseball slide on Rey Mysterio to protect her daddy Dom. She's in this position and watching Dom, but Vega takes advantage and hits the 619. She fails to win with this move because of course she does, because she is Zelina Vega. Dom gets a chair and slides it to Vega. He tries to get her to use the chair to win the match. But if she had used the chair with the referee watching her, Vega would have lost that match through disqualification. Dom, you sneaky bastard. Vega grabs the chair and hits Dom instead. Liv is now enraged. She grabs Vega and hits her with the Oblivion. She pins Vega and I cannot believe my eyes. Vega loses a match? How is that possible? Anyways, Liv goes to Dom to celebrate, but Dom walks away. Liv starts following him. Kelly shows up to ask Liv how the Liv Morgan Revenge Tour is going. Morgan says that the tour is going fine and she is not stopping anytime soon, and she also dedicates this victory and her future victories to the hottest man in WWE, her daddy, Dominik Mysterio. End of match. Next up, Seth Rollins is here. He makes his entrance and gets to the ring. He hypes the crowd with his usual stuff and he starts his promo by addressing Damian Priest. Seth says that he is under a lot of pressure to get his title back, but the thing about Seth is that when he is under pressure, that is the moment that he excels. Finn shows up. He says that everyone is having a good time, but Finn is not having a good time. As a matter of fact, he is in a bad mood. Because everything around him is changing. The Judgment Day is changing and Damian Priest is changing. Finn says that he blames Seth for all of this. Seth tells Finn to shut up. He says that Finn is just jealous of Priest because Priest has one thing that Finn has never had, and that is the World Heavyweight Championship. Seth also says that his beef is not with Finn, it is with Damian, but since Finn is here, if he tries to get into the ring, Seth is going to kick his butt. Before Finn can respond though, Damian's music hits and he is here. Seth calls them out by saying that this was a trap and the Judgment Day is going to attack them together. Damian says to Seth that this is not a trap because this is Damian's business and no one else is getting involved in his business, and he looks straight at Finn. Damian says to Seth that he underestimates him by thinking that his days as champion are numbered, and as a matter of fact, it is Seth's days that are numbered. Seth says that if you really think that, we do not have to wait until this Saturday. We can fight right here and right now. Damian says let's do this. Finn tries to blindside Rollins, but Seth turns around and hits Finn. He turns his attention to Damian, but Finn gets up and attacks him. He gets on top and starts throwing hands, but Damian grabs him and pulls him off of Seth. Damian says to Finn that he does not need any help because he can do it on his own. Rollins superkicks and both members of the Judgment Day receive a blow. Damian Priest rolls out of the ring and Finn is still in there. Seth gets him into the position and delivers a curb stomp to Finn. Damian gets back into the ring, grabs Seth by the throat and delivers South of Heaven. Damian looks at Seth. He gets Finn out of there and they leave. End of segment. Next up, a vignette of Ludwig Kaiser plays. Ludwig says that he was having a time of his life beating opponents left and right, and that he also stood toe-to-toe with Braun Breaker. He was going to win, but Sheamus interrupted that match and attacked him. He says that during the attack, he got injured and as a result, his ribs are now broken. He says that Sheamus had the balls to attack and injure him and also celebrate with the crowd in front of him. He vows to come back stronger than ever. He also vows to finish the Celtic Warrior once and for all. Wishing you a speedy recovery, Ludwig. End of vignette. This triple threat qualifying match is underway. Backstage, Damian asks Finn if he is okay, and he also tells him to not interfere with his business again because he needs to do it on his own. Finn agrees reluctantly. Nothing special happens during the match, pretty ordinary wrestling too. Kairi shows up to help Dakota. She fails to do so because the women's tag champs are here and they attack Kairi. Zoe hits her finisher on Dakota. She pins her to win the match. She is qualified and she joins these women in the Money in the Bank match. Next up, What is on the tape that was delivered by the Wyatt Six is shown to us. Bo Dallas is again on the video with Uncle Howdy. Dallas asks Uncle Howdy how much longer are they going to keep doing this? What are we even doing here? Dallas says. Uncle Howdy asks him that does he honestly believe that he has brought him to life? Dallas says that he was destined to do this. Uncle Howdy asks, do you think you are special? He says that calling himself special would mean that some others are not special and hence, deserve to be forgotten. Dallas says that we, presumably the Wyatt Six and him, are the ones that everybody wanted to forget about. We were abandoned, Dallas says. Uncle Howdy agrees with him when he says that we made people notice us. How do you believe that you can bring them to life? Uncle Howdy asks. Dallas says that they died, their flesh died, but now they have become something beautiful. They are now a family. We are now a family. Uncle Howdy smiles. Then Dallas says that now there are false prophets here who are berating and belittling their families for their own gain. He is talking about Chad Gable. Dallas calls all this disgusting and says that they must pay for their sins. Uncle Howdy asks, is this your responsibility? And in response, Dallas says that I am the voice of reckoning. Uncle Howdy says that I am reckoning. Dallas and Howdy start talking together. I am nobody. I am always. I set them free. I freed them from the cave. I gave you a family. I am the reckoning. Uncle Howdy is gone and only Dallas remains. Now Dallas is gone and Howdy appears. The video ends. Presumably this means that Uncle Howdy has taken over Dallas because he could not complete his task with Bray Wyatt. When Bray died, everything died with him, but now Dallas has brought everything back. He has set them free. It's interesting. Let's see what happens next week. Next up, we have Chad Gable. He finds Otis and obviously he is eating. He tells Otis that he is ashamed of his actions. They were hateful and hurtful. He apologizes to him and says that he needs Otis because Dallas and the Wyatt Six are looking for him and he needs his family to get out of this predicament. Otis looks unconvinced. But then Chad says that after Chad, maybe the Wyatt Six will target Maxine or Tozawa. Now Otis looks worried. Then the Alpha's Academy shows up. They ask, is everything okay? Chad says everything is fine and he pats Otis and he leaves. End of segment. Next up, it is Rey Mysterio vs Dom Mysterio. The match gets underway. Liv shows up during the match to help Dom. Rey puts Dom in position for 619 but Liv drags Dom out and saves him. Good girl, Liv Morgan. Dom is arguing with Liv and Rey hits Dom with a baseball slide and he falls on top of Liv Morgan. Mamma mia. Liv is ecstatic and horny. Dom tries to get up but Liv pins him down using her legs. Rey grabs Dom and pulls him off of her. Liv asks Rey why did he interrupt her orgasm. Vega shows up and Morgan and Vega are now going at it. Dom goes up top to hit a frog splash on Rey but Vega is there to stop him. Liv rushes to the apron and stops Vega but Vega pulls her feet and she falls on the apron. Incidentally, Dom also falls and fails to hit the frog splash. Rey hits 619 in this position. He hits the splash. He pins Dom and wins the match. Dom is furious. He leaves and Liv is following him and she keeps saying that it is not her fault. End of match. Next up, Sami Zayn is here to talk about his match with Breakker. He says that he knows that Breakker is a feared man and he is destroying dudes week in week out, but he also says that this does not matter to Sami because he is going to win this match and retain his championship. Music hits and Breakker comes out. He says that he likes Sami Zayn because while everybody fears him, Sami Zayn is the one who came looking for him and offered him a championship opportunity. This shows to Breakker that Sami has got guts. But Breakker says that it does not matter how many guts or how much passion Sami has, because Breakker is going to break Sami Zayn. Sami says that he has been broken 1,000 times and that he has managed to get up for 1,000 times in return. He says that Breakker underestimates Sami as every opponent does, and this shows to Sami that Breakker is not as smart as everybody thinks he is. He says that the proof of Sami's greatness is right here and it is the Intercontinental Championship. Good stuff, Sami Zayn. Before Breakker leaves though, he spears Sami. Breakker is leaving now. Sami rolls out of the ring. Breakker picks up speed to hit another spear. But with an awesome maneuver, Sami jumps up and Breakker goes straight into the steel steps. Sami now starts pummeling Breakker. He gets him into the ring and hits the exploder suplex on Breakker to get him into the position for hell of a kick. He gets ready and starts running towards Breakker but is intercepted by Breakker and yet another spear is delivered to Sami Zayn. Breakker stands tall. So that means he is losing this Saturday. Okay then. End of segment. Next up, the triple threat qualifying match gets underway between these three. And we all know, Drew is winning this one. Easy. And just as predicted, a good match overall, and in the end, Drew hits the Claymore kick on Sheamus. He pinned him to win the match. He has qualified and the men's Money in the Bank match is now set. After the match, Drew says that this Saturday he is winning Money in the Bank and then this Saturday, he is cashing in to become the next World Heavyweight Champion. You go, Drew. We, the fans, who watched you carry this company on your back through the pandemic era, we are with you. And that was the end of the show, ladies and gentlemen. Leave a like and comment down your favorite part. See you in the next recap. Toodles.